If you look at this one, this is like a caricature of the map of Egypt. Look at the map of Egypt. In the north of Egypt here is the Mediterranean Sea. Southern of Egypt, Sudan country. This is the east of Egypt, Trade Sea, Palestine country, and so on here in the north is part of Egypt. In the west of Egypt, Libya. Aswan is in the southern of Egypt. Okay? So the Nile, it runs from south to the north. So it's logically to build the dams in the south of Egypt. This is why the dams here, the old dam which was built by the British. How do you know the British? They came to Egypt in 1882 and they spent like 72 years here. Okay, so can we have a look at the map before more people come in? Look at this one. Look at the map. North of Egypt is the Mediterranean Sea. Two branches in the north of Egypt. One branch is called Damietta and the other branch called Rosetta. And this is why the stone we find in Egypt in 1799, the French people, when they were here, they found this stone. And this stone, it was deciphered in 1822. So this is why we call the stone Rosetta Stone. Rosetta Stone is kept now in British Museum in London. They found 3 different languages in this stone. One is called Demotic language, one is the ancient Egyptian language or hieroglyphic language, and the third, the Greek language. The hieroglyphic, by the way, the Egyptian people, we don't know what they call their language, but we still call it the ancient Egyptian language because we don't know its name. But the Greeks, when they came to Egypt, they found this language as a sacred language, so they call it hieroglyphic. So hieroglyphic is a Greek word, which it means holy script. Okay, so Champollion in 1822 he deciphered this language, and we start to know and we start to read about the Egyptian people. If we look at this one, we can start by the north of Egypt. We can see the 3 pyramids of Giza. This is considered one of the wonders of the world. You know, by the way, when we talk about the pharaonic time, it's divided into 3 different periods. The first one called the Old Kingdom of Egypt, the second one is called the Middle Kingdom, and then the New Kingdom of Egypt. And during the Old Kingdom of Egypt, the capital of Egypt, it was in the north. This is why their monuments and their sites, like the Sib Pyramid, like Sphinx, like the 3 pyramids, and so on, in the north of Egypt. Then we keep going up the river. Okay, actually we're not going down, but we're going up the river, because southern of Egypt is called Upper Egypt, and north of Egypt it's called Lower of Egypt. Do not be confused. So upper it means south, lower it means north. Then we get here. This king, his name is Akhenaton. Akhenaton, he was a ruler of Egypt during the New Kingdom time. But during his time, it happened a religion revolution against the cult of the god Amun-Ra, and he moved from Thebes or from Luxor to another place called Tell el-Amarna, and he started to have his own dogma or his own religion, which is called Aton. And he changed his name from Amenhotep IV to the king Akhenaton. Later on, I'm going to talk by more details about this one of this king. When we keep going down, we keep going up the river, we can see the temple here. What this temple? This is the temple of Hatshepsut. We can see the back of the temple here. The temple of Hatshepsut, a mortuary temple. It was built on the west bank of Luxor. Then the other 2 temples, the one with the obelisk, the one on the right hand side, this is called the Luxor temple. We are going to see just one obelisk. Where is the second one? The second one now in Paris, in France. Okay. By the way, we used to have like 2,000 obelisks in Egypt. We just now can see just a few of them, like the one in Luxor and 2 others or 3 others in Karnak temple. The others scattered all over the world, like the one you can see in front of Metropolitan Museum in the United States of America, like the one you can see in Paris, like the one we can see in Turkey, in Istanbul in Turkey, like the one you can see in Rome in Italy, like the one you can see in Berlin in Germany, like the one we can see in London in England. Okay. The other temple that we can see, the Sphinx Avenue in the front of the temple, is called the Karnak temple, the biggest temple in the whole of Egypt, and later on we are going to visit these places. If we keep going up the river, right, we can see the high dam, the one in the green, okay, in the middle. This is the high dam of Aswan, and down the river, up the river, we can see behind the dam, it's the lake of Nasser, which is considered as the biggest lake in the whole world, around 500 kilometers. 350 kilos in Egypt and 150 kilos in the Sudan country, right? So all these ones, and most of these temples submerged under the water, and most of them were saved by UNESCO organization and by some other organizations. Then we keep going down, okay, until we can see some of the Nubian culture, and we can see a temple that's called Abu Simbel, that you can see the bag here. This bag, this is Abu Simbel temple, and as you know, Abu Simbel, two temples over there, one for Ramses II, or Ramses the Great, and the second one for his beloved wife, the Queen Nefertari. Nefertari is the most beautiful one. Alright, keep going this way to see what is inside the museum.